People often speak of escaping from their everyday responsibilities, retreating to a more slower paced place in the seclusion of nature. What if the place that you call home, you can get that very same feeling? Next, we're going to meet a visionary whose life's work can actually affect the psyche of our daily routine. José Garcia. Originally from Argentina, José's home base is here in Cincinnati, Ohio, where he does some of his most distinctive, timeless, and creative designs. I met José on site of one of his current constructions. It's an innovative modern design in the wooded neighborhood of Indian Hill. Through this house and a mind-blowing dream project he has underway in Ecuador, I learned a little bit about what makes this artist tick. It seems to me that really great architecture seems like it has a timelessness to it.
Absolutely.
And so when you're creating this environment that people are going to be living in, it's even generational.
I think this is what happens. It's a relationship between the images, visual images, of what the client thinks is right and what I would like to think of as something beyond the moment and something that will last a lifetime or more. Touching the core of something, it is so incredibly difficult. A friend of mine took a picture of a little shack in my province of Rio Negro in south of Patagonia, Argentina, where I come from. It's a picture of a kitchen, which I still think is the absolute most beautiful kitchen I've ever seen. And there's only the essentials. Some utensils hanging from a beautiful stone wall, a fire, there's a stone that holds the hearth, there's a small chimney, and that's about it. This minimalism, if you will.
Can you tell me a little bit about your parents and your, how it was when you were growing up?
We were literally at the very, very bottom of South America. We all felt a little bit like we were looking at the world from a very, very long distance. We were observers. We were not at the center of anything. We lived in this tiny little town. My conception of architecture when I was a teenager, it was very, very much different than what I realized it really is. It's taken me years and years and years to undo what my education did to me, which was, I had to say I had a great education, but at the same time, it filled me up with these things which are absolutely useless. It didn't give me the tools to find essences and the things that are really important, regardless of the aesthetic crap that we are filled in by the images that surround us. I read a book about the Japanese carpenters that used to build traditional temples and how the knowledge was acquired by being there at the job site, if you will, learning how to choose the right trees with the right bends and the right growth, the right smell. And we live in a world that has absolutely killed that. There's no restful spot from where you can watch and learn.
You can already tell how the light's going to be up in this area.
Yeah, this light will be different every time of the year, every hour of the day.
Tell me a little bit about what is actually driving this current design.
This building grows out of a hill. The building, I hope, will be an instrument to witness the site. It's about the trees, it's about the walnuts and the oaks, everything that surrounds the building and is not a building. What you're looking at here is what's underground in the whole valley here. It's the leftover of the glaciers. I'm using a very reduced number of elements and materials to play it down, to make sure that the deer and the light and the rain and the snow are way more important than what we're building here. La verdad que han hecho un trabajo buenísimo en los paneles.
Oh, sí.
You have one extraordinary dream that I've just been really excited to talk to you about, the end of the world spa, what that is and what that means to you, and bringing that all to fruition.
There is a place in Ecuador, in the foothills of the Andes. It is pristine. There is a certain energy that I couldn't put in words that makes you feel good. I thought this is the spot where I want to build this thing. And the project is going, and we're raising our funding right now. It's built uniquely, only out of local materials, mud and stone and local wood and local labor. It has to be so perfectly calibrated, as in not disturbing the site and yet making some kind of a statement about its existence there. It is a beautiful challenge intellectually, technically, aesthetically. So in so doing, in the process, I'm growing, to be something that I wasn't 5 minutes ago.
It took a lot of courage, a lot of drive, a lot of passion to really know that my dream is going to come to fruition. And now it's coming to fruition. I mean, that had to be almost a spiritual experience for you.
I was standing that morning there, and I knew that we were going to do it. When you're convinced of something and you sweat your way through, something very strange and magic happens. People around will help, and things will become real. There were a couple of instances where the project was not going very well. One of my partners got very, very sick, very seriously sick, and I thought this is the end of it. And somehow we pushed through. He's doing great, and the project came back to life. In those valleys, when you hit the lows, that's where you see yourself truly believing or not believing so hard. And that's where you question yourself. Is it really going to happen? Are you with it? Am I with it?
What is it that we don't know that makes a great architect?
What makes a great architect is no different than what makes a great anything. What I aspire to is that before you do architecture, you are a good person. You pay attention to what surrounds you. And then you acquire some skills, and then you reflect that in a construction. The slow pace of things and the knowledge that's only acquired through being humble and listening and making mistakes. A lot of mistakes. The ego plays a funny role in all this, and at some point you have to kill the damn thing and get better.
Certainly has been a pleasure. I'm excited to see your dream come to fruition. I can't wait.
I really hope so.
Yeah.
And thank you for the great questions.